Hey, welcome back to Saber Order. In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Luke Skywalker Saber from Ally Sabers. The Saber was about $250. It's probably the cheapest replica you can buy from Ally Sabers. And Ally Sabers themselves have very good prices. They probably have the best prices for custom replica sabers. But here it is up close. You come with the skinny neck, obviously, the grenade grip portion. Comes with a second emitter, and that's for holding the blade, which it obviously comes with. Unfortunately, you can't buy a no blade option if you have one already. But yet again, it's so cheap and it probably only adds like 50 bucks to the price. Over the bottom, you have your triangle belt clip. Then you have your speaker at the bottom of the pommel. When you unscrew the pommel, you can also access the chassis. Since this is one of the kind of older sabers, I guess, it doesn't have the golden chassis other than the top. But it's just a basic 3D printed chassis with your Xeno core. And then it's going to have your battery. They're all standard batteries. And then your USB charging port is going to be right here. It's going to come with one of those, obviously, so you can charge your Saber. Over here is your auxiliary and activation button, which you can adjust the volume, your sound fonts, and pretty much everything else with. But you can also use the app Xeno, which I'll throw on screen right here, that works for all Neopixel Lightsabers to adjust all the settings and check the battery. The Saber is going to come with, obviously, your blade, an acrylic stand that all replicas do. It's simple, just put together 3 pieces. It looks pretty nice. It's going to come with a couple hex screws and extra hex nuts, and then your replica carrying case that most companies sell. It's going to come with a manual. It's super general for all the sabers. It's not going to be whatsoever specific to your saber, so it might not even tell you how to access the battery or even where the activation button is. So that's definitely what this video is going to help for. So if you're going to want to use the blade, you have to unscrew the top section, which is pretty much the screen accurate section. It really doesn't do anything. And then put on the blade section right here. It's just a little taller. It's not 100% accurate, but if you want to use the blade, I definitely would recommend using this. It gives it much more stability. Then you just screw onto these threads right here, and it's going to have the little holes to tighten your blade in over by these little screws. Go ahead and just put the blade in. Make sure there's pressure all the way down, so it's making contact with all the wires, I guess, and then go and tighten all these nuts. All right, so the blade's in. You don't want to tighten it too much where it's damaging the blade, but you definitely want it to be secured. You don't have to do all 3 of the screw points, but that's what I do. But I wouldn't do them all at 100%. But anyway, the blade's in. You can either do gesture controls, where you twist to the right, and it activates like that, or you can just do the activation button, which is the bottom little kind of black button. You just press it in, and the Saber activates. The Neopixel blade, it's standard for all of them. It's the mid-grade blade. It's super bright. The smooth swing, super accurate on Xenopixel. It's on par with Proffie. And it comes with another 30 fonts. I'm going to go through and show you some of my favorite fonts, the different ignition styles, and the different blade styles. All right, so I got the volume on low. All you have to do is hold the button down for a second. You can mute it.
Volume high.
Volume high. And volume low, which is my preferred use. And then gesture control. You have it activated. So this is the basic Luke font. It's called the Sun. I'm gonna go ahead and cycle through some of the other fonts. You can do a red saber. This is Palpatine font. All the fonts are super accurate. I think you got like 25 to 30 on here, and then you got like another 6 ignition styles, another 6 blade styles. You can pretty much customize every font. I'll go ahead and show you how you do that. So once you find a font you want to customize, you can use actually these lights to show you how to mute, change the blade styles and ignition styles. This is actually something that only really comes on this saber out of the replica sabers Ally Sabers sells. So I'll go ahead and show you how to use it.
Flash blade.
So if it blinks, there's the blade.
Stack ignition.
And then you can change the ignition by it blinking 3 times. And when you ignite that, this is what it looks like. There's a ton of unique ignitions. I'll go through a couple more.
Warp ignition.
Got the warp ignition. Most of these are just long animations that aren't super practical, but again, it's really about how much you can customize your fonts.
Phaser ignition.
It's another cool ignition, and I'm gonna go through some of the blade styles.
Unstable.
So you got unstable. So this unstable is more like a strobe light. It might not show on camera. I'll show it against my hand. It's just blinking a lot. The flame blade is actually the kind of unstable font that you'd expect from like Kylo Ren. So go ahead and show that next. So here you go. We got a flame blade, which is more of the unstable font you'd usually do. This is a super cool font. This is not a Kylo Ren font, but it is the same blade style that one does use.
Rainbow blade.
And then, of course, you have a rainbow blade, which every saber is going to come with. Really, any custom saber is going to come with. It's mostly just a troll font, but it is super cool. There is some fun fonts you do with the like Moonfield font. And there's also a candy blade, which is the same thing, just a different set of colors. All right, so I'm gonna show off some of my favorite fonts that I can on here, and then I'll do a swinging test with some more of the unique fonts. Okay, so this is the swing section of the vid. I'm gonna just go over a few fonts and just show off some of my mid-saber skills. Alright, so that's about everything I can say about the Ally Sabers Luke Skywalker Saber, but overall, it is one of the best replicas on the market. It's only under $300 for any replica. It's a great price, even on Ally Sabers. It's Xenopixel. If you want to get proffie, that is an option, but for the price and the value, you go with Xenopixel. Has an app, has everything, has great customizability. The Saber is a great product. Comes with all the accessories you'll need, and I definitely highly recommend this Saber. We do have a TikTok and a Twitter if you want to leave feedback on those. If you have any comments or questions, go and leave them down below. We'll definitely respond. And if our comment sections are disabled by chance, we haven't been having as much issues with that, but we have had them before. We do have a TikTok and Twitter linked in the About section of our channel and our bio, so we'll happily respond to any of those.